Corona warriors, the most visible yet most underappreciated is the humble policeman. What we have essentially seen over the last several weeks and even during the first wave of the pandemic is that the Delhi police has risen to the challenge. And without their sacrifice, perhaps the success of the first lockdown wouldn't have actually taken place. Joining me on this special broadcast is the Delhi Police Commissioner, Mr. Shrivastava. Sir, thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. Let me straight away begin by asking you, we are in the middle of a lockdown in the national capital. I would like to ask you, what has the response been like? How difficult has it been for the Delhi police to ensure that this lockdown too is successful and we are in a position to stem or the arrest of this virus can take place?
The lockdown is fairly successful. One issue always remains how to ensure that the essential goods and essential supplies and the services are not hampered. So to that extent, one has to fine-tune the restrictions in such a way that people are not inconvenienced, and the basic objective of the lockdown is achieved at the same time.
So let me also then ask you, what we have seen over the last few days is that the big challenge perhaps the Delhi police would be facing, keeping in mind you would have people coming out, some of those lockdown violators abusing the policemen. How difficult has it been for the police force to ensure that the lockdown is followed as much as possible?
Well, it is always a challenge. Any activity that the police is engaged in is always full of challenges. So here also there certainly is a challenge, though not unsurmountable. The main challenge has been that the many people try to come out on some pretext or the other, not realizing that it is for their own benefit that the lockdown has been imposed so that the corona doesn't spread. There are a number of people who come out, and every day a large number of them are prosecuted. They have to pay fines, and at the same time cases are registered against them. They are arrested, their vehicles seized. So these kind of things do take place. But we would like that the people of Delhi, these residents of Delhi, should follow the lockdown in true spirit. It is for their own safety, and they must do it voluntarily.
Well, I would also like to focus on one aspect that has come across as something new, even for the Delhi police, not just the Delhi police, perhaps police force across the nation, where we are looking at the force right now as the first and key responder, something which has been envisioned in the National Policy on Disaster Management. Today, social service has now also become part of the charter, apart from maintaining law and order. So over the last few months, what I would like to ask you is that how is it that you've been able to sensitize your force to incorporate social service also? And that's the reason why what you've been calling Dil Ka Police, the attempt that has been made to connect with the masses. How exactly are you trying to achieve that?
You see, the basic purpose of the police is service orientation. And with that service orientation, whether it is helping it by way of supply of oxygen cylinders or medicine or various other things, or for that matter, the hardcore policing. So Delhi police, because of its visible presence and it is far-reaching presence, it is able to do this. And you must have seen for the last 1 year, even last time when there was a lockdown, the Delhi police had implemented it with a humane angle, humane face. So it was much appreciated. Even now it has been appreciated. And besides that, the hardcore policing, where Delhi police have been able to maintain the law and order, keep the crime under control, that also has been appreciated.
So what we have also seen essentially is that over the last 1 year, from the time the pandemic began, Delhi police was at the forefront trying to fight this pandemic. Now, in the process, you've lost several of your men and women in uniform, or that too on the line of duty. What is it that you would like to tell the family members of all the police personnel who have lost their loved ones in this battle against coronavirus?
See, I would like to say that before this second wave of coronavirus, in the previous one, we had lost around 34 policemen, and around 7,500 of them had, reported sick. The way Delhi police handle the health of the policemen, I would say that is quite appreciated. It was appreciated by the force as such. They felt that they are being looked after. Apart from in asking them to, improve their immunity by exercises and yoga, they were also asked to take Ayurvedic drugs which were supplied to them. The protocols were laid for their testing and also hospital admission to look after them during their illness, not only them, their family members. So on the whole, since everything was well managed, the morale of the force always remained high. Now in the second phase of coronavirus, a large percentage are already vaccinated. We still have, good number of policemen falling sick, but we hope that they will recover and come back for duty.
Well, sir, I would also like to take this opportunity to tell our viewers about the work that has essentially been done by the men in uniform, your men, what they have essentially done in order to help the citizens. These are some data that I would like to read out, and then I'll ask you this question. 130 patients who were at risk due to shortage of oxygen at Santom Hospital were given to understand that the medical superintendent of the facility approached the Rohini district police, and at the nick of time, they tried to save it. So policemen once again came into the picture. In Shahadara, SHO Vivek Vihar and his team managed to save the lives of 52 COVID patients admitted to ESI hospital in Jilbin. The reason why I'm reading out this data is because today what we want, Republic Media Network essentially wants for the entire nation to know what exactly is the Delhi police doing at this point in time. And now I want to ask you this question, sir. Is there some sort of a protocol that you're trying to develop, the green corridors, etc.? Because today, what it appears is that there is an active attempt that is being made by the Delhi police, not just to maintain law and order, to try and help the citizens. So I want you to take this opportunity, sir, to tell all our viewers, what is it that the Delhi police wants to do in order to bring down the kind of panic levels that are really high because of lack of oxygen, lack of availability of beds, all that put together. What is it that you would like to tell all our viewers in the national capital and even outside?
While the systems were still being made by the Delhi government, as you know, the supply of oxygen cylinders and dealing with medicine is not basically a police job. Since it was a humanitarian work, it guided by the service orientation, Delhi police took up this job because the maintenance of law and order at the hospital is also very important. The large number of patients waiting, large number of relatives waiting there. So when there was a requirement of oxygen in order to calm down the environment there, Delhi police went forward and arranged some oxygen cylinders so that the life is not lost. And this way, when the hospitals found that the police is able to arrange such things, the police was asked not once but many times for providing the oxygen cylinders. Now, on our suggestion and otherwise also, a system is being laid wherein there are nodal officers for supply of oxygens. Any information which is received by the police station or the police control room will be passed on to the nodal officers, who will be directing the vendors, the oxygen gas suppliers to the hospital. So this is the arrangement made. There's a control room number where the information will be supplied. As regards the transport of the oxygen tankers from outside the Delhi to Delhi, Delhi police is providing security so that they are brought to Delhi safely and
in shortest possible time.
So there is also, I would like to draw your attention to some of the other issues, some of the challenges that today a lot of us are essentially witnessing. What we have seen is this battle over oxygen supply, which has reached the doors of our court also. You've had one of the major oxygen suppliers writing, saying that the reason why there has been a delay in oxygen supply in the national capital is because of the blockades surrounding the national capital. Do you essentially believe that the farmer protests that are there at the national capital, just outside the national capital, could be one of the reasons why there is a delay in the supply of oxygen? Is that a cause of concern?
We have not got any information about the blockade by the oxygen gas suppliers or the government as such. So I am not in position to comment about that. But we have provided security. And in case there is any stoppage or something, obstruction, then we'll definitely come to know about it. Till date, we have not come across any such instance where the Delhi police is involved and the oxygen tankers are stopped.
Well, one final question, sir, that I would like to ask you before I let you go, because today in a situation like this where we have seen a lot of people extremely worried, a lot of people are panicking for various reasons put together, all that perhaps one expects is some sort of a word from the Commissioner of Police in order to calm down the situation, in order to tell the people of the city that how exactly would the police force be available for them. Is there anything that you would like to tell all our viewers?
First of all, I would like to tell the viewers that they should strictly follow the lockdown restrictions for their own safety. They should not unnecessarily come out just to violate the law. Many people have been prosecuted, and anybody taking it lightly will definitely be prosecuted. Number two, as regards the supply of oxygen cylinders, medicine, etc., of course, there are certain issues which are being sorted out by the government. And in this regard, Delhi Police will do its utmost, which it has been doing, basically guided by humanitarian considerations, and will ensure that the law and order and the essential supplies will be made available to
the patient will recover. I know it is a tough job, easier said than done.
Especially, I'm talking of the treatment in the hospital. So, what I'm basically saying that they will get the best possible treatment, and they'll come out after having treated well.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for taking out your time and speaking to all our viewers through Republic Media Network. Once again, from all of us here at the network, we would like to salute men and women in uniform who are sacrificing on a daily basis, and we are really proud of them. Thank you very much.